I had just been made redundant, was feeling super negative, a bit, I mean, I guess a bit bitter at the whole situation, really. Um, I wasn't happy. I had no idea what I wanted to do next. We were living in such an uncertain environment. But yeah, I was in a very negative mindset, I would say. I was suffering with severe decision paralysis. My self-esteem had taken a bit of a hit. I think that happens to everyone when you get made redundant. You try not to take it personally, but it does. You do. You can't help it. So yeah, I wasn't in the best mindset at all. Sort of my intention for this course was to get in the right mindset to find a job that I love and be good at it as well. And I would say that I definitely wasn't in the right mindset to do that at all before this course. So now I'm in a much better place to put in processes and steps and all that sort of stuff to achieve that. That's one of my goals that I've established as part of this program. There are many now, now that I've sat down and thought about them. But yeah, I feel like in a much more positive place to be able to be making the right moves. It really helped me sort of evaluate where I am now and evaluate where I want to be and put some action steps in place to get there. I think if I had never done that, if I'd never done the mastermind, I would never have been thinking to the future. I would still be concentrating on where I was now and feeling negative about it. So it was really good to get the tools to sort of think about the future and start planning for that rather than just sitting and sulking. So the whole process throughout the peer-to-peer stuff, the one-to-ones, like all the lessons and resources and stuff that you go through, as you go through the program, your mindset definitely changes to a more positive one. I've done a lot of management training in my career so far, but it's less of the coaching side. It's more sort of business structure, processes, that sort of thing. Whereas the coaching side is a completely different element of management. And I feel like it's actually really important because especially in this day and age, like we're used to going into work and acting like robots and acting like people don't really have feelings and emotions, and now mental health is becoming more and more important. That sort of coaching element of the leadership stuff is, I think, really, really important moving forward. So any managers that want to learn a bit more about that side of management, it's definitely worth doing. I'd never done anything like this before. I'd never had any coaching. I'd never done anything outside of a corporate environment at all. So trying to describe it to a friend, yeah, I would say it's fun, supportive, caring, positive. It's about working on yourself and like thinking about a better you and investing in yourself and putting some time and effort into you as a person, you as a leader, the future you, like the woman that you want to be. A really positive, fun form of personal development. I would say female managers who want to learn a bit more about leadership and really sort of hone in those skills. One-to-one coaching really, really helps with the sort of changing the positive mindset. Like you're having these conversations and you have this, you might have this negative one-track mindset. one-to-one coaching kind of opens your eyes a little bit more, teaches you to think about multiple possibilities, not just the one that you kind of have stuck in your mind. For me, it was just really comforting to know that there are other people out there that are going through the same thing that I am, that have the same questions, that face the same challenges. And what was really nice about it was we got to a stage where I think we were all quite comfortable talking about our own challenges and issues, and having that peer group around you that can give you support and give you feedback, and also like maybe a different view than what you had already. Like, it was so interesting to get everyone's viewpoints, like 4 or 5 different ones, and then take the best from each. So yeah, it was nice. It was like a nice support network. You'd look forward to Fridays, like, and seeing everyone. Or I just kind of plodded along. I never really thought about what was next, or what I wanted from the future, or what I wanted that to look like. You know, you hear about people making these 1, 3, 5 year plans, and you think, oh, I'm not going to be like that. Like, I'm just going to see what happens, go with the flow. I mean, which has served me well so far, don't get me wrong, but to actually sit down, have some time to think about what it is that you want, when it is that you want it, and how you're going to actually get there, has really helped me. Like, I'm an event planner, I'm organized, I like lists, I like to tick things off, I like planning. So it's actually really enjoyable to sit there and think about your life and how you want it to be, and how you want to define it, not just the default life that you've already had so far. Like, some of the tools that I've learned about leadership and psychological safety and team building and like team values and setting up, you know, making sure that you have a real purpose for your teams, and like setting out team canvases, I think that will really, really help. I think in management we tend to just kind of follow what our managers are doing, as opposed to actually thinking about the type of manager that you want to be and the type of impact that you would like to have on your team. So I've learned some really positive tools that I would definitely take into any management position that I had in the future. Yeah, I think overall it would mean that I'm definitely a better leader, more in touch with like, just not just having a communication style that works for me, it's having the communication style that works for each individual in your team. So certain things like the disc profiling, all that sort of stuff can help with that. That's definitely something I would get my teams to do in the future, because then you can figure out a way that works for everyone, and it's that more of a community rather than just leading from the front. I would never have looked at management and coaching and put them in the same box. Like, they were always kind of quite separate. And I think actually, like, to be a really great manager, you should definitely have elements of coaching in your approach moving forward, for sure. And there was some stuff that I learned about psychological safety. Like, I'd never heard that term before, but once it was explained, I realized like that environments that I'd been in that had high levels of psychological safety and some that had low levels, and the difference between them, and where I like to be and where I like to work and where I would like my teams to be or my management to be. So yeah, that was really interesting, because it's kind of something that you maybe already knew, but you never knew the term for it. You never really understood it fully, or how to put it into practice. So yeah, now I do. I was, having been made redundant, I was kind of spending a lot of time on LinkedIn, and I kept seeing the content come up and thought, oh, that looks really interesting, stuff that I'd not really thought about before. It was kind of positive content, I would say, and I was sort of in a bit of a negative mindset at the time, so it looked appealing to me. I would have still been in the same negative mind frame, to be honest. I would have been sort of checking my LinkedIn every day and feeling very miserable about the situation and not really making any positive moves for the future.
I start off the sentence and then you finish it off with whatever comes to mind. Okay? Being part of this mastermind has meant
that I felt like I was being supported through a community of amazing women.
I would describe my experience as
positive and uplifting.
The biggest change I have seen in myself is
my mindset.
The thing I learned about myself.
Oh, I learned a lot. How to overcome decision paralysis and silence my inner critic.
And the thing I learned about others was
everybody has different communication styles, everybody has different preferences, everybody has different strengths and weaknesses, and it's just about having those conversations and figuring out who everybody is and what they bring to the table and how you want to move forward and what their values are, and that really helps to make a great team. I just feel so much better. Feels so much better. It's stuff that yeah, really valuable content for me. I've loved every minute of it, so thank you. You've been amazing.